Saludos y bienvenidos a nuestro canal Lex Nova Abogados Studier. Hoy profundizaremos en la organización del registro civil en Venezuela. As we've mentioned before, the 1999 Constitution assigned the responsibility of maintaining, organizing, directing, and supervising the civil and electoral registry to the electoral branch. This means the National Electoral Council, through its Civil and Electoral Registry Commission, is the governing body of the National Civil Registry System. This system is a collaborative effort involving several government bodies. Think of it as a team. We have the National Electoral Council, the Ministry for Internal Relations and Justice, the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, the Ministry for Health, and the Ministry for Indigenous Peoples and Communities. They all play a crucial role. The executive arm, the one that implements the policies set by the National Electoral Council, is the National Electoral Commission. Following its lead is the National Office of Civil Registry, which executes the specific plans and directives to ensure everything is running smoothly and correctly. There's also a supervisory body called the National Office for the Supervision of Civil Registry and Identification. So, who are the people on the ground actually handling the day-to-day registration tasks? Primarily, it's the civil registrars. Additionally, for Venezuelans abroad, the Ministry for Foreign Affairs handles this through our consular and diplomatic missions. The system also gets help from other key players. The Ministry for Internal Relations and Justice assists through the National Identification System and the National System of Registries and Notaries. The Ministry for Health is vital, as its authorized personnel issue birth and death certificates. And, of course, the Ministry for Indigenous Peoples and Communities provides crucial collaboration. Now, let's talk about the records themselves, the civil registry certificates. The modern Venezuelan civil registry uses a hybrid system. On one hand, there's a digital automated archive that stores all registrations. This is our primary system. On the other hand, there's a physical archive. This paper backup is essential. It guarantees proof of the records if the digital system ever fails. This is a big change from the old system, where everything was handwritten in physical books. According to regulations, civil registry offices and units must keep duplicate books for registrable acts and facts. For each act they register, they create a file containing all the required documents. The National Electoral Council specifies the characteristics of these books to ensure the data is durable, unalterable, and reliable. These books are distributed annually to registrars for use from January 1st to December 31st. When an entry is made manually, it must be numbered sequentially, written clearly, and leave no blank spaces. Any corrections, like erasures or crossouts, must be noted at the end before the signatures. Dates are written in numbers and lowercase letters. So, today, most acts and facts are entered directly into the digital system. Manual entries are only made when the digital system isn't available, for example, due to a power outage or technical issue. Once the problem is solved, that manual record is immediately uploaded to the digital archive. All records in the civil registry must be in Spanish, our official language, unless it involves indigenous communities with their own language, in which case the registration is done in that language as well. Every single certificate or acta must contain certain general information. This includes the certificate number, the identification of the official who authorized it, and the date the certificate was created. It must also record the exact time, date, and place where the event itself occurred. The full names, ID numbers, nationality, age, profession, and residence of everyone involved are required. The documents presented must be listed, and any specific or special circumstances of the event noted. Fingerprints and signatures of all participants are mandatory. If someone can't sign, 2 witnesses can sign on their behalf, and this is noted on the certificate. For indigenous individuals, their identity and the community they belong to must also be included. This list establishes the minimum content for any record in the civil registry, from the official's details to the participants' signatures and the specifics of the event itself. Now, the civil registry records various events, and each type of certificate has its own specific requirements. Let's start with birth certificates. In addition to the general characteristics we just discussed, a birth certificate must specify the day, month, year, time, and the exact location of the birth, whether it was in a hospital, at home, or elsewhere. If it was in a hospital, the birth certificate number, date, and issuing authority must be included. The unique identity number assigned to the newborn is also recorded along with their full name and sex. The certificate explicitly states son of or daughter of and includes the complete identification of both parents, omitting their marital status. The full identification of anyone present at the registration, like declarants or witnesses, is also required. Finally, it's signed by the civil registrar, the secretary, the declarants, and any witnesses. Regarding the required documents for registration, you'll need the original medical birth certificate, the original and a copy of the declarant's identification, and the original and a copy of the identification of 2 witnesses of legal age. What if the birth happens outside of a hospital? In that case, you need a sworn statement from the person who assisted with the birth, plus a certificate from the local community council confirming the birth occurred in their community. If it's impossible to get a statement from the person who assisted the birth, a sworn statement from 4 adult Venezuelan witnesses from the community who can attest to the birth will be required. The regulations also address establishing parentage for children born to a mother not in a marriage or stable union. The person the mother names as the father is presumed to be the father. The registrar will notify this person to formally acknowledge paternity. If he refuses, a DNA test will be ordered to settle the matter. What if a man who is not the mother's husband or partner claims paternity? The registrar will proceed with the registration using the information provided by this man. However, any other person with a legitimate interest can still challenge this in court. For abandoned children, the certificate will include the same data, but it will note the circumstances of the presentation, the child's apparent age, and the civil registrar will choose the child's names. Obviously, the parent's identification is omitted. For multiple births, like twins or triplets, each certificate will note this special circumstance and the order of birth. There's also a special process for registering adults who were never registered at birth. They must submit a request explaining the delay, along with any supporting documents they have, like a hospital record or their parents' ID cards. This file is sent through the Regional Electoral Office to the National Office of Civil Registry for a final decision. And what about children of Venezuelans born abroad? Their birth is registered at a Venezuelan consular office. The certificate must identify the consular office, cite the relevant article of the Constitution, and, if applicable, include a declaration of will to adopt Venezuelan nationality. A certified copy is then sent to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which forwards it to the National Office of Civil Registry, and finally to the Municipal Civil Registry Office of the parent's last residence in Venezuela. We hope this detailed overview has been helpful in understanding the structure and processes of Venezuela's civil registry. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Please subscribe for more legal insights. Always be blessed.